Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to go over ways to make a man feel appreciated and loved. It's more specific to relationships and marriage. Before we get into it, I've had a rough day at work, and I'm just making this video to kind of get my mind off of things and just decompress. And so, if I seem a little bit low energy more than I typically do, it is because of that. The first one is appreciating efforts, even when you think they're small efforts. A lot of times in relationships and marriages, a lot of people, they look so much at what's missing that they actually miss over some of the efforts. And so if a man makes even a little bit of effort in a marriage, it's usually because he values the marriage and he cares about the marriage or the relationship. But if he doesn't feel like he's being appreciated, his motivation for any of those efforts kind of diminish, because a lot of times men by nature, at least from what I've noticed, are more sacrificial, and a lot of them like to be that way as long as they're appreciated and some of their love is reciprocated in other ways or similar ways. And appreciating those efforts are very important. And when I mean appreciating, I don't mean just internally. Saying it out loud that you appreciate those things are very important. The second one is similar. It's thanking them for everyday things. Everyday things that a husband or a boyfriend does for you is still effort. And just because it's something that you think is what some people might call the bare minimum, that's not true. The bare minimum is they don't have to even be there. Them being there is an effort. And so I don't like the word bare minimum. I think it doesn't make any sense because that's an expectation that you placed for no reason. You don't know where people come from. As you know, if you're a woman and you're saying that to men, it pushes them away because a lot of times being in a relationship, it holds a lot of risk, especially for men. Marriage as well, it holds a lot of risk. The marriage can be beneficial to men, but it also holds risk. Two things can be in the same space. And so relationships, some of them don't even want relationships. However, if they are there for you, thanking them for everyday things shows them that what they're doing does matter. Everyday things could be saying good morning to you. Everyday things could be texting you every day. Whatever their situation is, showing up to dates, anything. And you think those things shouldn't be celebrated because you think that I'm not sure why people don't celebrate those things, but I'm guessing it's because you think it will encourage them to stay, like to not give more. I'm not so sure what that's about. I'm guessing it's that. But if that is the case, which I'm not sure if it is, that's not true at all. If you appreciate a man, or some people are like this, I'm like this. I know that if I don't get appreciated for small things, I feel less motivated to do those things. And it pushes me away a lot. And I know a lot of men are like that. I think it has to do with some people who are a little bit less emotionally driven. I'm a person who's not very emotionally driven. I know you guys make fun of me for that a lot, but that could be why I can relate to this one a little bit. I'm not a man, and I'm sure I can't relate fully. But for me personally, if I'm not thanked or appreciated for the little things that I do, especially if I'm also continuously nagged or pointed out that I'm not doing enough or I'm doing something wrong, I will not stay there no matter what the history is, no matter who you are to me. I can't, because I feel miserable around you. I don't like you anymore and I resent you. And I think men can relate to that, or maybe they can't. Maybe I don't know what that is, but it's something I wanted to bring up. Thanking them about everyday things really does help men feel appreciated and loved. The next one is reflect on your reactions. Just because you feel hurt about something does not give you the right, as a man or a woman, anybody, like any person in this world, it doesn't give you the right to just react any way that you want to and expect that that's valid because you feel hurt. That's not fair. So if you're a woman and you're with a man, and he does something that maybe he did make a mistake and he can own up to that. That doesn't mean you get to blow up his phone. That doesn't mean you get to scream at him. It doesn't mean you get to demand something to be changed right away. That doesn't mean anything. What it means is you can express your side in a valid, calm way. You can be upset. You can cry. You can have your reactions, but reflect on what these reactions are and what they mean and how they present themselves. Because if you think that if he made a mistake, for example, and you get set off and you start crashing out, if you think that that's going to motivate him to do better or feel like, I did something wrong, let me do this for her, that's not going to happen. It's going to likely be the opposite. Most people don't like that. Again, I'm talking about myself probably because I've had a rough day and some of these thoughts are just everywhere in my head. But I don't like too overly strong reactions. They're hard for me to understand. I'm not a person who reacts, at least I don't think I am, might be wrong, react very extensively and intensely. And when people react very intensely for things that I don't understand, I feel frustrated, I feel flustered, I feel annoyed and confused. And if in a marriage you see this as a man, likely you don't feel appreciated. And so if she reflects on her reactions, you might feel more loved and appreciated. The next one is support them during setbacks. A lot of women feel like if a man has a setback, that this is a valid reason to leave him. If that's the type of woman you are, it's going to be very hard for you to have a long-term relationship because setbacks are normal in relationships and in life, and being there to support him in whichever way feels supportive to him is beneficial, and it's going to make him feel like he doesn't have to be alone. A lot of men feel like they only have themselves, and there's only one person in the world who can support them, which is themselves, if that. And if you prove that, it's going to be very unlikely that he's going to want to be in a relationship with you or with anyone, because if you're not there, what's the point in being in a relationship? A lot of men want to be with someone who supports them, but they just don't believe it's possible. And if you prove that, they're just gonna, again, detach and not want to be in that relationship. The next one is don't hold on to their past mistakes too long, and don't hold it against them. That doesn't mean you can't reflect every now and again. That's normal in relationships and marriages, but it doesn't mean you bring it up like every time he does something wrong or you hold it against them. If it's been resolved, let it go. That really makes men feel appreciated and loved, because we all make mistakes. Nobody likes, at least I don't think anybody likes their mistakes just being rubbed in their face and always brought up. That's going to make a lot of people run away. The next one is show physical affection and show them you are happy around them. Even just saying that you're happy, even if it takes effort to look happy, try, because this makes them feel like they're doing the right thing. It indicates them that they're in the right direction. The next one is speak softly and kindly to them. This really makes a difference. It's the way you say things more than what you're saying. A lot of times with people, you can say, I felt bad that we didn't do something romantic on Valentine's Day. I know you didn't mean it like that. Do you think maybe next year we could do something? That will land better, hopefully, than if you say, you're so selfish, you don't care, Valentine's Day is so important to me, how could you forget? I expected X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. That's going to cause someone to feel really bad, especially if they didn't mean anything by it. Some people are busy, some people we are so different, right? And communicating kindly and softly lands better. Otherwise, they're going to get defensive. The next one is, you want to avoid comparing him to other men or just anything. It's not fair, because he's his own person. He's had his own experiences, his own life. And if you compare him to other people, in his mind, he's going to think, okay, if you don't like me, just go to somebody else. And that's just going to push him away, because in actuality, it's true. He can't fix himself tomorrow. And if he's a good person and you're a good person, you guys want to change eventually a little bit together. But if you're expecting that tomorrow or today, that's not going to happen. And it's just quicker if you keep comparing him to other people than just go with somebody else. A lot of times men will think that way, especially if you keep doing it. The next one is initiate bedroom activity. You can't just put that on him all the time, because it makes him think that you don't want it, especially if you are rejecting him at some point or constantly. And it also makes him feel unappreciated, unattractive. And so initiating bedroom activity can really help. The next one is listen to understand, not to win. He doesn't understand your side fully, and you won't understand his side fully. But that's an opportunity to listen as much as you can. And the last one is apologize sincerely when you are wrong. This is really important, and it goes a long way. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.